Okay, here we go. Why choose plant-based soy milks? Take 3. My name is Shoshana Chaim, and I am the co-host of the Plant Trainers podcast, helping you improve your quality of life through nutrition and fitness. I'm best known for helping my clients to really thrive through life, whether it be they have picky eaters, or they have diabetes, or they're overweight, or suffering from chronic disease. I help give them the tools that they need to physically and mentally feel better and achieve really great goals. And today what I wanted to do is talk about why to choose soy milk as your plant-based milk. Now, there's a couple of things that I want you to think about when you choose your plant-based milks to begin with. Number 1 is I want you to make sure that there's no carrageenan in there. If you're not sure how to check for that, just check out the ingredients on the side. But some milks are actually saying no carrageenan up here on the top anyway right now, because they know that that's what people want. Carrageenan is a plant. However, we're not sure 100% what source of carrageenan is being taken for these milks and whether or not they have an effect in the body. So I say right now, steer clear. Number 2 is, of course, if you have an allergy to soy, you do not want to consume soy milk, right? Because it comes from soy. So keep in mind that every body is different, but a lot of times we think that we have intolerances to soy, but really it's intolerances to all of these other products that are coming along with it, and we can actually tolerate soy. But again, everybody is different. And number 3, I want you to choose unsweetened. So whether you're choosing almond or soy, you can find unsweetened. Doesn't matter what brand it is, you can normally find unsweetened. So if that is an option for you in your store, choose it and try to get used to it. So plant-based milks are superior to cow milk for so many reasons, and we've done a lot of podcasts on the Plant Trainers podcast talking about that. But what I wanted to go over today is these milks do not contain hormones, right? Cow's milk, you might say, well, you know, I choose organic so the cow isn't injected with hormones, or in the country I live in, the cow's not injected with hormones. But the cow contains its own hormones that's passed to a baby calf through the breast milk or through the milk that you're consuming if you're consuming cow's milk. So in fact, you are getting hormones that are meant to help a baby calf grow into a large size animal. You do not want that for yourself. You do not want that for your children for many reasons that we are not going to get into today. Number 2, these milks are lower in fat than cow's milk, and they contain no cholesterol. And there is actually, even though we talked about allergies with soy, there is actually more allergies with cow milk than there is with soy milk or other plant-based milks. And those allergies might not be as anaphylactic, but they are huge. So of course, if you're allergic to nuts, you're not going to use almond milk. If you're allergic to soy, you're not going to use soy milk. But a lot of people are allergic to dairy, and they do continue to eat dairy. These are lactose-free naturally, which is also really good. And of course, it doesn't spoil as quickly. So when you shake it and open it and smell it, and it's been open a little bit too long in the house, it's not going to be spoiled. You're probably going to be able to use it a little bit longer than you would the cow's milk. Now, let's get into the reasons why soy milk is superior. Number 1, it's really easy. It is easy to find in most grocery stores today. You might argue, yeah, well, almond milk is too. But if you only use soy milk when you're doing baking and you want to send that baking to school, but you're not allowed to send nut products to school, or your child's best friend is allergic to nuts, or the person who sits in the cubicle next to you is allergic to nuts, you always know that you have this soy milk. So it's easy to tell the difference because there is no difference to tell. Number 2, other milks, like almond milk, is mostly water. So you're actually paying a premium price for water that has a bit of an almond taste. There are barely any almonds in here. Almonds are packed with protein, but there's only 1 gram of protein per serving in here, as opposed to here where there is 8 grams of protein per serving. So we know that we're getting much more of the nutrients, which we'll get into in a minute, but we're also getting more bang for our buck and more creaminess and smoothness. Number 3, most milks are usually fortified the same way. So if you look at the little table here on the side, you can see that there's vitamin A, that there's calcium, which could be natural in there too. There's iron, there's vitamin D, there's vitamin B and other vitamins too, and zinc. And you're gonna find that more or less in most of those milks. There's a couple that you find on the shelf where the brands aren't as good or they're not as high quality as the ones from the refrigerator. So you might want to check that out on the side too. But for the most part, you're not missing anything by going with the soy milk at all. But some of the nutrients in here are actually a little bit more natural. For example, the calcium might be a little bit more natural. Potassium, there's much more potassium in here, and there is a lot more protein in here as well. So that's important for the diet. Although we have that joke, protein, schmotein, whatever, we still do need it in our diet to be healthy. Number 4, there's a lot more nutrients, and that's kind of what I was saying before. There are so many more nutrients that are natural to soy milk than there are in the almond milk or in a lot of the other milk. So 3 and 4 really do mesh together. And number 5 is that there are plenty of studies showing us that consuming soy products, and I'm not talking about soy in the cookie that you're eating, but I'm talking about edamame, and usually we'd like to go organic. So I'm talking about edamame, I'm talking about soy milk, I'm talking about tofu or tempeh, good quality products, hopefully non-GMO, hopefully organic. There are plenty of studies showing that there is less recurrence of certain cancers when people are actually consuming soy, and it's also very protective against certain cancers in the first place. So if you want more information about why that is or where that information comes from, you're going to want to check out the Plant Trainers podcast number 280, Clarifying the Confusion of Nutrition, with Dr. Tushar Mehta, and he really does a great job at explaining all the research, and we have links to all of the research that is there as well. So you're going to want to check that out, either going to planttrainers.com/280, or you could check on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, anywhere where podcasts are found. Listen to that podcast because we talk about that in more detail, and there's so much research linked there at the bottom. So if you're the type of person who wants to read the research or who needs to share that research with other people, it is there for you. So I would love for you to check out the Plant Trainers podcast number 280 so that you can hear a little bit more about why soy milk is the superior plant-based milk.